And look, James and Russ are not happy. I talked to reliable sources and I told them I wouldn't mention their name today, but James and Russ are not happy.
So reportedly, James Harden and Russell Westbrook have expressed concerns about the Rockets' immediate future. I ain't gonna lie. If I was James Harden and Russell Westbrook too, I'd be concerned about the future as well. We talking about two former MVPs and one of them is still playing at an MVP level. Of course, they would have some concerns if they think that the next season, they're probably not going to be in the finals again. Now, when we talk about Harden and Russell Westbrook, all they care about is the finals and all they care about is a ring. They don't want to just get to the finals. They want to win the finals, mainly because James Harden and Russell Westbrook, their primes are pretty much not going to be here for that much of a longer time. And what the Rockets are doing right now seems to be extremely concerning, not only for James Harden and Russell Westbrook, but for the overall Houston Rockets fan base as well. Now, first things first, we have to understand is that the Rockets are probably not going to make any major moves if they do decide to keep James Harden and Russell Westbrook. As of right now, they are completely strapped for cap space, and that's pretty much because James Harden and Russell Westbrook are both on super max contracts. And because James Harden and Russell Westbrook basically understands that they're probably not going to make any substantial movement to possibly bring in another superstar, they understand that 100% they are most likely going to stay stagnant in the near future, which means they're probably not going to get better than they were last year, and there is definitely a possibility that they might get worse. I know that's actually insane for a lot of you guys, man, because the Houston Rockets were pretty much slab dab in the middle of the Western Conference. They were literally in a 7-game series with the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that people thought were going to be in the tank and potentially in the running for LaMelo Ball, potentially even Anthony Edwards. As of right now, James Harden and Russell Westbrook do not see the Rockets actually getting better. And something even more scary is the emerging talent in the NBA. The Golden State Warriors last season basically took a year off. They understand they see Stephen Curry coming. They understand they see Klay Thompson coming. And not only just in the West, we have to talk about the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are coming back. So even if they do make it to the finals, they might have to face some even stiffer competition. And not only that, when we talk about where they were last year in terms of the middle of the West might even be a little bit more powerful next season. We understand that the Spurs are not going to stay bad forever. There's also a possibility of Chris Paul going to the Phoenix Suns. James Harden could have barely beat Chris Paul with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Imagine what Chris Paul could potentially do with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic are going to get better. The Pelicans are going to get better. Let's hope Zion Williamson loses some weight. Now, another thing that looks super dim for James Harden and Russell Westbrook. The Houston Rockets have been making some moves with their front office. Now, I'm not saying that their moves are inherently bad, but the moves that they are making doesn't necessarily tell me that they are expecting to win a championship in the immediate future. Stephen Silas seems like a very good coach, and I'm pretty sure in the future he'll definitely be something very good. But when we talk about a win-now coach, he's not necessarily the first name I would think about. And not only that, their general manager, not necessarily the most win-now type of guy that I personally would think about. And not only that, new hires come with job security. For the last regime that we did see, Daryl Morey, Mike D'Antoni, they felt pressure to win now. They felt pressure that they needed to win immediately. This new regime does not necessarily feel like if they don't win next season, they will not be back. And that right there could definitely be a little bit concerning for James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Not that they want their coach and their general manager to always have fear, and if they don't win, they'll be fired. But regardless, you understand that the main thing was always going to be the main thing with the previous regime. This new regime could potentially be having in the back of their mind, hey, maybe we want to build for the future. And I know exactly what Stephen Silas said. I know exactly what the GM said. They definitely do want to win now. They definitely do want to win next season, but it's not necessarily a definitive they have to win next season. And that right there is definitely concerning for James Harden and Russell Westbrook. I'm pretty sure Russell Westbrook and James Harden themselves don't necessarily like being in a whole bunch of trade rumors themselves. I'm pretty sure you guys understand because Daryl Morey is over there in Philadelphia with the 76ers. There has been a lot of James Harden trade rumors, and of course, James Harden doesn't necessarily like himself being in trade rumors, but even more importantly, James Harden doesn't like his best friend Russell Westbrook being involved in trade rumors. Russell Westbrook himself has been rumored to go everywhere, like everywhere. There are people talking about the Clippers, people talking about the Knicks, people talking about the Suns, everywhere. But I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I think as currently constructed, it's probably not going to look good for the Houston Rockets. Now, personally, I like the Houston Rockets. I think their max is definitely the finals, but I just don't think that they're going to get to the finals. I just don't think that James Harden himself is going to consistently be able to replicate a 40-point triple-double, a 50-point triple-double. I don't think that Russell Westbrook is going to consistently replicate a 27, 10, and 7 per game, especially in the playoffs when the tempo slows down and Russell Westbrook is going to be forced to shoot shots from the perimeter. It's just not their game in the playoffs, but it might be a completely different story. James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and I might be viewing this completely wrong. Maybe Stephen Silas got a very good system that he himself can implement to make James Harden and Russell Westbrook max out their talent. Maybe we're all wrong, but let me know what you guys think. It's been your boy, and we out.